in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Indianapolis Colts. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Greystone travel.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. They'll have a first down past the 40. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Check, 4 down. Check number 6, check number 6.
On second down, it's Hines. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Let's go now. Right here. Double time. Easy. 4 down.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
That's right.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Johnson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
It's caught. Jones. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
The first down carry here for Johnson. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
47. Check, 47. Bandit.
On second down now, Foreman. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd and 2, Conley. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Here's 2nd and 8. Jones has it. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again. Conley. And this one's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's like you're going negative on me,
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Back to throw here. Open man, it's Vanette. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 22.
94.
On first down, Hines. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
I know he might be a little winded after that previous long run, but now you're in goal-to-goal situation. That changes what you do defensively, and it worked for them on that play.
Maybe trying to reward him after that long run. We'll see if they go back to him again on the ground. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Joseph is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Flushed out right, and he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
It'll be a Saints 1st down on a gain of 16 yards.
And the Saints 1st down.
Set, ready. 10, come on. Watch the screen. Pass.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
To throw on 2nd down. Conley throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 38-yard line. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the toss, here's Johnson. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, Conley. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former 1st-round pick, there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Got a man open. That's Harry. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And that's caught inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. This is Hines, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Back to throw. Conley. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Off the play fake. Conley. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Returnable for Grant. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A first half update now from Philadelphia. And the Eagles out in front early. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 21 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Big stop, let's go.
2nd and 5. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
Come on. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Cover.
Kill, turn. Kill, turn.
Operating from the gun. Conley. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll go as a pickup of 8. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. Does the big boy have the juice? And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring them indeed with that score alone. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch the
To throw again. Conley. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 33.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Jabril Peppers, a former 1st-round pick, there on the coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Conley. This is caught, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. N'Keal Harry with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
What you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. What we got? Ready?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Now it's Peterson. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check, 47. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
Check safety, check safety.
Quick dash, quick dash. Go, go.
Come on.
Check 49.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Conley nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. The 20. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Sets up a 1st down and goal at the 8-yard line.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Alert flag.
Here's Hines. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they were the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. The kick by Joseph is good, and that's going to tie us at 13. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They begin the drive with Johnson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hines. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator.
Touchdown, New Orleans! Michael Thomas. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hey, lock it. Lock the twitch.
2nd and 4. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he comes back with one complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Colts, first down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Running the jet sweep with Jones. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to Johnson again. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Johnson. There goes Duke Johnson. Touchdown, New Orleans. Duke Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, break.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 18-yard line.
Let's go now. Go to base.
Hey, come on now, come on now.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Saints, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they drop their 7th game on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.